Namaskar, dear devotees and friends. This Sunday talk I am giving from Cleveland. So, I am not in Chicago, and we have come to the devotees' house, and there is a group of devotees who are the lovers of Vedanta, they study as for a long period of time. Many of the monks, they come over here, they give the talk, and though they are very busy in their different professions, but still they like to organize this Vedantic, the discussions and all. So, I had that opportunity to meet them yesterday night, and it is a almost 5 to 6 hour drive. So, I could not go back. I stayed over here, and now I will be giving you the talk online from here itself. And as you all know, we are studying the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and today it will be the 3 steps to realize the Brahman. So, as usual, let us begin with this mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. That Brahman is infinite. This universe is also infinite. This infinite universe came out from the infinite Brahman. But taking the infinitude of the infinite, it remains as the infinite alone, that is the Brahman. This is the knowledge. Though we see the millions of varieties, but in reality it is all one. So, the moment we understand that, there is peace, peace and peace. Friends, you all know that Yajnavalkya, the famous thinker and the teacher, after completing his duties and responsibilities as a householder, he was a great teacher, he had a school, so all those things he did. Then afterward he decided to renounce, and that is the system in the society, because you are going to die. Before death, you should realize who actually you are. That is a unique system, not that they will not perform their duties, they will, but at the same time they will know that whether I like it or not, I cannot cling to it. I am not going to survive all through. So, I will die one day. So, they withdraw the mind from the world. That is called renouncing. Mentally, they are detaching themselves from all those that was there with them. But this is not so easy to renounce. For that, a training is necessary, understanding is necessary. So, from the beginning itself, they used to give them that knowledge, the dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So, these are the 4 goals. Dharma is clear understanding to what I am supposed to do, and what is my responsibility, what are my responsibilities and my duties that I should perform. And after that, whatever the knowledge I will acquire, that I will utilize for the development of the society. In exchange, society will give me the wealth, the money, and with that I will live and I will enjoy whatever way I like to. And then finally, when I will retire from all the work, I will prepare my mind, dharma, artha, kama, then for the moksha. It is not going to heaven, it is liberation. This is a point that we must understand. the life was so perfect, so wonderful, so joyful. What I am going to do with the heaven? Whatever the description of the heaven that we find, it's a nice place and no work and you get your food, all that. If that is so, I am already having this here. So why should I go to heaven? In the Indian religions, mainly they say the three religions, Hinduism, from there the Jainism and Buddhism, all three they speak about mukti, liberation, nirvana. They don't talk about heaven. There are the discussions about heavens are there, but that heaven means you have to go enjoy whatever the good work that you have done. Then you have to come back once again to this life, the human life, and you have to work out. You have to completely give up everything, and you have to become a sannyasi. Sannyasi means samyak nyasa, the Sanskrit word. Samyak means complete, nyasa, giving up. You have to give up completely. What is that? You go out leaving all your hearth and home, and then the no clothing and the bare body, not like that. You are giving the complete attachment. It's not the body, it's the mind. And the mind get attached, not the body. So obviously, whether you are in the home or in the forest or in the cave, it doesn't matter. Why people they leave? Because if you are living in the home, the obviously temptations are more. It's very difficult. That's why they go out. So you have to become a sannyasi, whether you like it or not. So in the society, it was there. Yajnavalkya, the teacher, he was teaching all this to the younger generation. Then one day, he decided, now it is time for me, I should renounce. And when he wanted to renounce, he called he was having two wives, Katyayani and Maitreyi. So he told, see, I am going to renounce, I like to leave, and I am to leave all alone. So I like to distribute and divide all my property between you two. We don't find any reference of Katyayani, but it seems that she was all right with this. But the Maitreyi, the junior one, the younger one, she raised a question because she analyzed. Now this person, my husband, Yajnavalkya, he collected all this wealth. Now how come that he is leaving this wealth and going away? That means he is going to get much more joy or something, somewhere, which this wealth cannot give it to him. So she understood in that way, and she raised that question that, am I going to get that supreme joy for which you are renouncing the whole thing and the world? Am I going to get that with this property? Then you know that we have already studied, and Yajnavalkya said, oh dear, no, it is not possible. Of course, you will have a very aristocratic life, a rich man's life, and there will be no problem for you. Wealth will be there, comfort will be there, society will respect you. But you are not going to have the peace for which I am going away. Then she said, then what I am going to get with this, if you are not giving me. So, you know that in Hindi, there's the two words, all is inspiration for the monks. They say, sab chhode, sab paave. It's not proper Hindi, but the sab chhode, sab paave. If you give up everything, you get everything. How it is? Because why we collect money? Why we earn money? What is the wealth for? Happiness. And if you leave those attachment to the wealth and those things, you get happiness. And that is pure happiness. When the wealth is there with you, there is a fear. Oh, somebody is becoming more wealthy than me, or there are people all around me, they may snatch away. So fear is always there. Bhayam means the fear. But when you give up everything, there is no fear. But at the same time, you get everything. The proof, we left only one home, We left only one home and one or two brothers, that's all. Now the whole world has become our home. Wherever we go, everyone, please Swamiji, come and stay with us. And the best room they will offer, best services you will get. So obviously, this is the proof. Sab chode, sab paave. You get friends, you get brothers and sisters and respect and everything. So that truly proves if you are living for God. But again, if you try to get all those things, putting on a garb of a sannyasin, then acting like a sannyasin, again that is sin. That is papa. That you should not do. You are not going for that. That is called dharma vyapari. In Mahabharata, this word they have used, dharma vyapari. That they do business with the religion. It is nothing like that. So, sab chode, sab paave. Then in the Brahma Jnana, this says, how to understand that in another Upanishad, there is also the same story, and it says that, Saunaka habai mahashala vidhipat upasanna prapacha kasminnu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavatiti. So, Saunaka is a mahashalo. Mahashalo means is a very successful householder. Now, as because I am failing everywhere, as because I am not getting a job, and let me become a sannyasi. No, out of frustration you cannot become a sannyasi. Yesterday one lady was asking me, why you have become a sannyasi? Got a blow? That's a good question. No, people they always think that after getting a blow they all give up. So either you go to pub or become a sannyasi, nothing like that. It is after getting the blow, if you become a sannyasi, there is always chances that you will go back. You will never become a good sannyasi. Sannyasi means out of your own will and understanding. But Saunaka, he was a successful householder. He went to a teacher and he asked, Kasminnu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam. That's very simple Sanskrit. Those who understand Hindi and Indian language, they understand it. Sarvam idam, these all, vigyatam. I can understand everything by knowing which. I can understand everything. So what is Brahman? That definition that they are giving. The Brahman is that by knowing which you can understand everything. And what is that Brahman? It is knowledge. And what is that knowledge? That is the realization. And after the realization, no one could say, because it is not an object that you can describe. Oh, it is like this, it is like this, it is this type of size and this weight, or at this time or at this place. It is not an object. You cannot explain in that way. It is a subjective knowledge, and you only realize it and you get very happy with that. So that is called the Brahma Jnana. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, no one can defile that. Brahma ki mukhe bola jayana. Brahma etu hanni. In Bengali he said. Etu hanni means no one could defile that. No one could describe. It is beyond the words, beyond the time, space, causation. How can we explain it? The subjective knowledge. But what happens? Outer expression of Brahman, happiness, tremendous happiness, extreme joy. So they use that bliss. The long back, I've said in many of my talks, when we were the brahmacharyans, so we were in training center in our headquarters, Belur Mott. So there was a Durga Puja. At the Durga Puja time, as you know, thousands of people, they go to the Belur Math and they will be giving the donations, and you have to collect the donations because they like to give it somewhere, and you have to give them the receipt also. Immediately you have to write their name and you have to give that receipt that we have. So 3 of us got that duty, and we were sitting just in front of the door of revered Bharat Maharaj. He was the manager of that time of the Belur Math. And inside the room where Bharat Maharaj was sitting, inside there was a governor, I don't know from which province, maybe from UP or Punjab, and a very famous writer, Borun Sengupta. Many Bengalis will know him. He was a very strong writer. Even Indira Gandhi used to be afraid of him, a very strong writer. And a very famous actress, Suchitra Sen. Even today, if you just uttered the name, the Bengalis, oh my Suchitra Sen. She was so attractive. These 3, they were inside, and maybe they were discussing. We were sitting outside. Then a young boy, junior than us, he came and asked it. It was, that in country, the people are not in the line, they are coming one after another, so much of crowd. So they straight come on the counter and they, this is my donation, give me the receipt. So it is almost a chaotic way you have to go on doing things. So we were writing and someone was collecting, counting and keeping in the boxes. It was going on, and this boy came and asked, hey, why you have become a monk? The other 2 became a little angry. They didn't answer, but they looked very hardly to him. Then I thought, let me give the answer. Otherwise, he will think, oh, the Swamis, they don't talk. We were not Swamis that time, brahmachari. I told, see, inside this room, there are 3 people. One is physical beauty, no compare. Another, intellectual, no compare. Another, third, is the governor. So government administration is in his hand. These 3 usually people they want. But how come they have come to a Swami who is physically not at all good looking, intellectually only class 10 pass, and power, no power at all in his hand? Why then these 3, they have come to meet him? That means this person is having something very special which these 3 are not having. And what is that? Happiness, the peace, the joy, which these 3 couldn't get. So that is the reason I have become a monk. So I have to reach to that. And how can get it? By understanding the Brahman. So when you are thinking in this way, then slowly you are yaya tad aksharam adhigamyate. When they ask that question, how can I understand everything by knowing only one? Then the Rishi said there are 2 types of knowledge. One is this mundane knowledge, which is science, to know all these different varieties, and there is another, by only knowing one, you know everything. So that in that Upanishad they were discussing. Now suppose a lump of clay. If you know the clay, and from that, out of that clay, hundreds of different varieties of things they have made. The potter, he has made the elephant, a horse, or a doll, a human form, so many things. But if you know about the clay, you know all these things. You need not to go and test different way individually all the creations of the clay. So the same way, if you know the Brahman, you know everything. What happens after the Brahma Jnana? So obviously, we can say the Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. They say Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. He becomes Brahman himself. Or Brahmavid, the knower of Brahman. Vid means knowledge. The knower of Brahman becomes Brahman itself. So, what is that Brahman? They say Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa. Now, how they can say that? Well, someone came and told us, it is in the scripture, it is in the 10,000 years old, the faith or belief. No, not like that. Every day we realize that. That is the beauty of the Vedanta. It will never ask you to believe, never ask you to, hey, you need not to ask question, just do that. No, they will never say that. They say, this is good. You ask question, try to analyze it, try to understand it, then accept it. Now, this Brahman is Sat Chit Ananda Sarupa. I will just remind you, this great Rishi, Yajnavalkya, he was renouncing the hearth and home to become Brahman, to realize Brahman. He had that intellectual knowledge, understanding about Brahman. Now, he wants to realize that. For that, he wants to give up everything and concentrate on that particular knowledge, because the life is short. So, they decided. Now, from there, we are discussing about the Brahman. And the problem is, Brahman is not an object. We cannot simply say, Brahman is 6 feet tall and these and that. So, what is that Brahman? So, you have to understand it by seeing the effect of Brahman, the cause and effect. All these things have come, as we were chanting in the beginning, Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. That which is full, out of that full, everything has come. So, from this, we are discussing from this point that what is that Brahman? Effect. What is the effect? We. And what do you find? The cause and effect. If the cause is sugar, whatever you prepare will be sweet. If the cause is salt, whatever you prepare with that, it will be salty. It can never be sweet. So, what we see within us, we never like to die. Not even the ant is not going to die. All we like to survive. Where from this idea came? Where from this notion came? Why we don't like to die? This is the effect. We don't like to die. Was the cause, the one who has made us, from which we have come, it must be like this. So, Sat. Sat means eternal. Because our source is eternal, out of which we have come, so our effect is also, result is also, we don't like to die. No one wants to die. This is one proof. So, we say, what is Brahman? Sat. It is eternal. Chit. Everyone wants to know. All these kids constantly going on asking the mother, why the bird is flying, why the doggy is doing like that, why this, why that, constantly. And the best minds of the society, they are going on analyzing why the pandemic came. Within 2 years, they could control the pandemic, completely abolish the pandemic. So, how it is? Because the researchers, what they did, they wanted to know where from it has come, how it can be stopped. Knowledge, inquiry. Again the effect, where from it came? From the source. Then we say the source, that Brahman, it's Chit. The Sanskrit was C-H-I-T. Chit means knowledge. So, Sat and Chit. And finally, the third, no one wants to be unhappy. Everything that we do only for happiness. See, look at you. These three things are only there. Look at all beings, only these three things. Everyone's like to survive, everyone's like to know, maybe a little bit more and a little less, but the curiosity about knowledge is there. And finally, we all want Ananda, the joy. I sometimes say, if the rich person says, I will give you $1,000,000 and take all my sufferings, I don't think there will be any taker. You won't be able to sell that. Because no one wants to suffer. Why? It's the effect. What is the cause? So when we say, the Vedantas say, that Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa, Swarupa means the embodiment. It's not just as a statement and you must have to believe whether you like it or not. It's nothing like that. It's the proof, Sat Chit Ananda. So this he is telling, this Katyayani Maitreyi, and the Maitreyi he said, Inaham na amritasyam kim aham tena kuriyam. This is a great statement, you know. Those who are the students of Vedanta, all the monks, nuns, they always read this particular line of the Maitreyi. Inaham na amritasyam. Amrita means eternity. From where I am not going to becoming or get the eternity, what I am going to do with that? This is called vichara. The vichara means discrimination, analysis, understanding things properly. And this is the speciality of the human being. The human being can analyze it properly, can understand it properly. Look at our brain. Now they are creating the AI, artificial intelligence. And then after creating that, they are becoming afraid. What will happen to us if everything artificially they are doing? But who is creating? The human brain. So human brain is much super than anything in this world. So who created the human brain? Whether you believe it or not, scientists, sometimes some people may not like to, but we always say God has created the human being. And not only that, God created human being out of His own image. That means the God has this particular special quality to understand and to discriminate between good and bad, temporary and permanence. And we will always go for the good, always go for the permanence. There are some traditions in the Hindu society, I don't know, it may be in other societies also, that when the child is 1 year or so, when they're having in the first rice eating ceremony, the rice eating people, so obviously the first rice eating ceremony, they will give on a plate, they will keep a pen, a dollar bill, and some these or that, and they will put before the child. The baby sitting on the lap of the mother, and they will put in such a way, he will go to touch. And if he is touching the pen, there he is going to be a very intellectual person. And if he is touching the dollar bill, he is going to be the Bill Gates. So like that they will all say, he may not, or maybe, but this is all faith, because the simple mind he is touching. And why they believe? Because from the past birth impressions are coming. And because of that impression, that baby cannot express, but that baby will go and touch, because he will feel the attraction for that particular. That's the way they say. Similarly, each and every human being wants to know about God. Each and every one. Apparently, they may declare, no, I am an atheist, I don't believe in God, I believe in this, I believe in that. But when he is closing the door inside the room and all alone, he will be praying to God only. Because there is no other option. Why? Because they cause and effect. We are coming from that. We have to go back. So there is the ultimate joy, happiness, bliss is possible when you go back to our real source, and that is religion. Religion is nothing but analyzing, understanding, realizing, and then propagating the path to go back to the source, which is eternal, which is knowledge, and which is the source of bliss, joy. and nothing else. We call it Jehovah, we call it Allah, we call it God, we call it Bhagavan, we call it in different names. And the Vedantin will call it as Brahman. But it's the same thing. So we have to go back over there. But how? Now when she said, so what I am going to do with all these things which cannot give me the eternal happiness, eternity, then I don't want those. Yena aham na amritasyam kima aham tena kuriyam. This is called Viveka. You know the Swami Vivekananda? The Viveka means this understanding. He was only 18, 19 years old when he came to Bhagavan, maybe hardly 20. He came to Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And one day Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, "Hey Naren, I can give you all the 8 power, the supernatural power. Do you like to have that?" You know, the many people, they will be in great joy if they get at least one power. So if when you are controlling your mind, meditating, you can control the nature also. You can read the minds of others. You can hear from the distance, you can see. You don't need this television to see. You can yourself. You can transport yourself from one place to another. You can become very thin and tiny. You can become huge like the mountain. These are all powers are there. They call Ashta Siddhi. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "I can give you Ashta Siddhi. Do you like to take that?" And this boy, just like removing the fly, he said, "I don't want those things. Am I going to realize God out of those? No, you cannot. But you will be very powerful in the society." That young boy, he said, "I don't want that." When that young Nachiketa went to the Yama, that story goes in that Upanishad, the Yama also told, "Ima Rama Saratha Saturya Nahidrisha Lambaniya Manushyayi." Now, no human can get this, all divine thing. You can enjoy all this. I can give it to you. He said, "No, I don't want those." Because they are all temporary. Either today or tomorrow, they are going to end up. I want something which is very, very permanent. And what is that? Knowledge, which will give me the joy, happiness, eternity. So he was very happy, naturally. When the young boys, they come and say, "Swamiji, we don't like to marry." Then, "Acha, we don't like to marry." Then like to become a monk? "No, we don't like to become a monk." "Oh, okay. Then in between, I said, it is better to become a householder. Go and marry and settle down. Or become a monk. And naturally, for the monks, when you find some young boy or girl is coming and saying, "We like to dedicate our life for the service of the God, don't like to marry and don't hanker for money or position, power, nothing," we become very happy. Exactly opposite reaction will be the parents. Parents will be very unhappy. And obviously, why? Because as you understand, and then according to you react. Here, Yajnavalkya became very happy. The other wife, the Katyayani, she was very happy with the property, and I think she was, I don't know, that is not written. She was very happy when she heard another lady, the Maitri, is also giving up that her portion, so the whole thing will come to me. She was happy in her own way. And Yajnavalkya became happy with this lady, Maitri. Why? She wanted to know how I can realize the Brahman. Now the Yajnavalkya giving the teaching. And he said, "Atmaba are drashtabhya, srotabhya, mantabhya, nididhyasitabhya." How you can realize the Brahman? You must realize Brahman. Atmaba are. Are means you should, you must. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, almost in the beginning of his ministerial life, we can say, he said, God realization is the goal of human life. No other goal. God realization is the goal. Whatever you want, you will all get that. You want name, fame, everything you will get that by that way. Look at Jesus. Who remembered the name of the king who was ruling at the time of Jesus? No one. Only those who are reading the biography of Jesus only read that name. But wherever you go, it's the largest religion in the world present day. And the Jesus was not having anything. He was not a king. He was nothing. He was not an educated person. But now millions and millions are remembering Jesus only. So this is, you have to understand that it will automatically it will come. Why? You are becoming God yourself. I and my Father in heaven are one, is the words of the Jesus. He became God himself. And that's why they say, Atma ba are drashtabhya. Oh, you must realize the Brahman. But how? Now they are giving this, Srotabhya. You must hear. First listen about it. Mantabhya. Then you must ponder over that. You must analyze over that. Then nididhyasitabhya. Then meditate on that. Let us now go to these 3 points. In the path of knowledge, there are 3 steps for the realization of Brahman. First is Srotabhya. You have to hear. And this is the most difficult the step. If you hear a very good speaker, and as because they are having the control over the language, they will be punning the words and will putting things in such a way that 1 hour, 2 hours they just fly. And people are mad to listen to them. But those people, maybe what they say don't practice. So if you hear from them, even the highest words about God is not going to benefit. So one must be very, very careful. Here you have to be very, very careful. So many advertisement comes. This is the thing that we are going to sell. Please come and purchase. We always analyze. No. This is not good. How this? So similarly, you have to be very, very careful about choosing a guru, a person from whom you are going to get the inspiration. The Srotabhya, you are listening, you are learning, you are accepting those words of the person. And what should be that person? There are 2 words they always say, Dharma Guru, Dharma Vyapari. Dharma Guru, they are very humble and they are genuine. Dharma Vyapari are very vocal. And don't think that I am that. So, Dharma Vyapari is they sell Dharma to earn money, to earn name and all those things. So, if you are listening to them and under their guidance preparing your journey, spiritual journey, God bless you. So, this we have to understand. In the Shankaracharya, he said that 3 things are very rare, rarest of the rare. What are these? Human birth, Manushyatva, Mumukshutva, desire to realize God is very rare. People never think about that, about God. They think about everything except about God. And those who are thinking about God, they don't like them even. So, thinking about God and to realize God, this type of thoughts is also with the blessings and for the good karma. So, first is human birth, second is to know about God, that thought should come, and then finally Mahapurusha Samasraya, and you should get the guidance of a proper guru. Otherwise, everything will be ruined. First human birth, it was, and then there was a desire to realize God, but unfortunately, you go in the hand of such a one who is actually cheating. So that you have to. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, Sadhu ke dine dekhbi, rate dekhbi. You must see a holy person, not what he is saying, but what he is doing. So that's called Dina and Rata, in that way he said, day and night. That means you should know thoroughly about. Tarpare Bishwash karbi. Tahale, then that is called, you have to have that intellect to understand your guru. Otherwise, there will be difficulty. Bhagavata, in that particularly when the Krishna is giving his last teaching to Uddhava, his friend and disciple, he has given a big list. When the Uddhava is saying that you are leaving, where I will go, to who will give me the guidance? He said, go and have the company of the holy people. Then the Uddhava asked, how I will know that person is a holy person? Then he gave a list, big list in the Bhagavata. People, friends, we must be very, very careful. Otherwise, nowadays, because of the technology, everybody is sitting in any corner, just putting on the garb, and as because they have the command over the language, they are beautifully representing this thing. We should not be carried away by that. We must be very, very careful. So then it says Sravana. Then what are the Sravana? You are hearing. What you are hearing? Of course, here in this Upanishad, when they say Sravana, it indicates the Mahabhakyas. There are so many. Bhakya means the sentences. Bhakya means the words. And here, the Mahabhakya means that is the best of everything. What is that? Hindus, they say there are 4 Mahabhakyas. In 4 different Upanishads it says, first is Aham Brahmasmi. I am that Brahman. Tat Tvam Asi. You are also that. Thou art that. Prajnanam Brahma. This knowledge is Brahman. And Ayamatma Brahma. This self is the Brahman. These are called 4 great teachings. You know, friends, in Hinduism, there are major 3 paths. It's better to know, because in Hinduism they always say, you can go through the path of power, Shakti. What is that Shakti? The Tantra. Another is Vaishnavism, by duality, that the Vishnu is there, Rama is there, Krishna is there, all incarnations, all come to that. And third is the Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. A means negative, and Vedanta means the knowledge, last knowledge. Anta means last, Veda means knowledge, the last knowledge, knowledge of Brahman. So the goal also, they say, that is Shiva Shakti, that is in the Tantra, and this is Vishnu or the Krishna or the Rama or like that, the God. And Vedanta say it is your Atman, it is yourself, you are that Brahman. So you are listening to that. So one should be careful about the teacher, and after accepting the teacher, when they say you are that Brahman, the Sravana, you have heard it. Now it is Manana and Nididhyasana. In the Sravana, when we are hearing, how we will know who is a real good person? Very simple thing, that criteria, or you can say the yardstick, that is, if that person is having the love for everyone, and he must be unselfish, and thirdly, he is not having the differentiation, it is same-sightedness. The person who is having love for each and every one, oh, they are my religious group, so I love them, or my linguistic group, I love them, or my countrymen, I love them. No, he cannot be a true teacher. and obviously love for each and everyone. Same-sightedness. Oh, rich people, I attest to them. Poor people, illiterate people, I don't like them. No, he cannot be a spiritual teacher. And unselfish. He's not having anything hidden, as they call it, hidden agenda, to become famous, nothing like that. So love, same-sightedness, unselfishness, if it is present in any person, without hesitation, you can accept him or her as your guide, as your guru. Now here it's again that, as I feel always, and it is said, any characterless person can be a very perfect professional. Suppose he is a teacher, is a professor, but is a loose character, or an administrator, or a good doctor, or an engineer, or somebody in the society, but loose character, tell lies or do this and that. It can continue. There is not much harm though. But the character is the only thing for a spiritual person. It doesn't matter whether he is from Harvard or other university. It doesn't matter at all. Not at all. Latu Maharaj, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna at my back, his direct disciple, he never went to any school, forget about. He was not knowing the alphabets even. And he became a Brahmagyani. Because the character means truthfulness. The character means never ever doing anything that will harm others. Never, not even his thoughts. So character is the only quality to become a holy person. It is not the certificate of the universities. So after hearing, then mantabya. Mantabya means one must ponder over the teaching. Now, how can I be the Brahman? How can I be God? Now the teacher said, you are God yourself. And as I was telling, in Hinduism, there is 3 paths, and in one path is the Vedanta. In Vedanta, there is no initiation. Advaita Vedanta, there is no initiation. This is only teaching. If you go to a guru, guru will tell you, I am Brahman, you are also that. I am pure, you are also that. Go and meditate on that. That's all. But in the Tantra, they will give you the name of a god or goddess. That becomes easy. Vaishnava also, they accept that system because it becomes easy for ordinary people like us. So the mantra diksha is only in the Tantra and Vaishnavism. But in Advaita Vedanta, no. Aham Brahmasmi Tattvamasi, that's all. And no other guidance. And now you go, because you have to have that quality only. And from there you begin. If you have noticed, in Hinduism, particularly in Upanishad, they never say don't tell lies, don't steal, don't hurt others, nothing like that. Why? Because they accept that you have already prepared your mind in that. And you have come to study the Upanishad means all those things, basic things, you have already practiced. And they begin, Ishavashamidam sarvam yat kincha jagatyam jagat. All these things that you see is nothing but the God. Don't tell lies, don't hurt others, they are all basic things. And if the morality you have not already practiced, you are not fit to start the Vedanta. So here the Vedanta said, Srotabhya, you have heard. Mantabhya, you are pondering. How you will ponder? How you will judge? Now Guru said that I am God. How can I be God? No, it cannot be. There is a story in the Upanishad again. The 2 brothers, one is Deva, another is Ashura. They went to the God and said, Sir, please teach us something. Then he said, Tattvamasi, you are that. Both the brothers were coming back and they were discussing, how can we be the God? What he said? the God is all pervading, God is all powerful, God is eternal. How can I be God? So when they were thinking, both the brothers, they became and felt thirsty, and they went to a pond, and very clear, crystal clear water was there. And when they were about to take the water to drink, they saw that their reflection. Then the junior brother said, "Oh, I have understood it. Look at it. This is me." That the God said, "You are God. It is me, this body." "Brother, I have understood. Now I am very happy. I am going to make my body strong. I am going to enjoy this world. That is me." But the other one, the senior brother, he said, "That how that can be? Because you are temporary. Whatever may be the strong body, maybe you will live more than little 100 years, but still we are going to die. But Brahman cannot die. It cannot be. We have to ponder. Oh, you do that. I am satisfied." So he became Asura. Sura means enlightened. Asura means ignorant. The Asura, that ignorant one, he started thinking about the body, and the Sura, the elder brother, went back and told the whole thing to the God. And God said, "I am happy with you, but you continue again. And for another 12 years, you must meditate on this." The Srotabhya, Mantabhya. Mantabhya means going on, pondering, analyzing, trying to understand. And by that way, they do. Now, friends, I will tell you again the uniqueness of this Vedanta. They say, when you understand a sentence or a word, how you understand? They say, Jahal Lakshana. Lakshana means the system. And what is called Jahal? Jahal means giving up. Now, suppose you meet a person and he says, "Oh, please come to my house, and it's so easy to find my home. It is on the river. Just come to on the river, it is my home." Is he living on a houseboat? On the river means what? You understand immediately. Okay, I'll go over there tomorrow. On the river means, he said, on the river, you have to give up on the river, on the bank of the river. No one can build a home on the river, on the water. So it is on the bank of the river. The person who said, he was satisfied, and the person who listened, he also could understand how, by deducting or minusing a few words and adding a few words, that is called Jahal Lakshana. Jahal means giving up. What you are giving up? River. Is instead of river, on the bank of the river. See, we understand in this way, and constantly we say. And second, another statement they say, "Oh my God, that day the red became the fast. It ran so fast, it became the fast." Red is a color. Color cannot run. And how come that you are understanding? The person who mentioned it, he knew that the listeners will understand. And those, they were also understood. Why? This fellow who was selling red became fast went to horse race. And the red colored horse, it was running fast. So immediately he analyzed red color horse or a red color car or a motorbike and whatever. It is the color of something that ran fast and it became. So we are understanding the sentence in this way. Red became fast and we added ajahat. We are not minusing, we are keeping the red, but adding horse or a car or a bike, motorbike, and like that. Isn't it? First, we are minusing. What we are minusing? River. And then we are understanding it cannot be on the river, on the bank of the river. And second, red is a color, it cannot run. So we are adding, not minusing the red. A red color horse, red color car, adding. So Jahal or Jahal. Or means not minusing, rather adding. Jahal, minusing and understanding. Now, third is Jahal Ajahal Lakshana. Now, I am God, I am Brahman. What part I will minus? Guru said, you are Brahman. Which part of the sentence I can minus it? Nothing. So, Jahal Lakshana is not applicable. Ajahal, that means I am not minusing, I am adding. You are Brahman. What you will add? Nothing to add. So, this is also not applicable. Then third one, Jahal Ajahal Lakshana. Now mix up. How? Ram is a good boy. Ram is tall. Ram is intelligent. Now another, Sham is a bad boy. Sham is not tall. Sham is not intelligent. Now they are analyzing two boys. One is Rama, another is Shama. And Rama good, Shama bad. Rama tall, Shama short. Rama this, Shama not. But one thing is common. Both are what? Boys. So similarly, now we get the answer that Brahman is the consciousness. I am also consciousness. The Brahman is all pervading. I am small, but I am consciousness. Brahman is all powerful. I am not, but I am consciousness. So, like that, many other things are there, we are minusing. The long, tall, the fair color, intelligent, all those things we are minusing. But we are adding one thing and sticking to that, that is boy. Both are boy. Boy is there. So similarly, Brahman is also consciousness, I am also consciousness. Brahman is all pervading consciousness, I am limited. Brahman is all powerful, I am limited. But both are consciousness. On this, I understand I am Brahman. So this is called Jahal Ajahal Lakshana. This is called Vedanta. And it is so scientific, the modern world, they are accepting this Vedanta. Because not that you have to believe, but you have to understand it clearly. And finally, this is Nididhyasitabhya. When you have heard it from a proper guru, who is having love for each and every one, who is same-sighted, never discriminate, and he who is not having any selfish motive, from him we hear that I am Brahman. And then after hearing, I judge, analyze that I am Brahman by Jahal Ajahal Lakshana. We are both same. And then finally, then I meditate. No doubt there. I don't need any other help, any other discrimination. So, the great teacher, he is going to meditate. So, this is the Nididhyasitabhya. And when you meditate, what happens? You transform yourself. It is not that. That's why Hinduism believes in transformation, not conversion. You are converting. He was thinking in this way, I superimpose on him, or forcefully that you must believe this, you must practice this. It is nothing like that. It is from inside, from understanding, you are completely changing. And that is called transformation. Hinduism believes in transformation. And when you transform, what happens? From human, you become God yourself. That's why Swami Vivekananda gave a call. You were animals. Now you have become human. Animals, very selfish. They live for themselves. And they are only thought the body and nothing else. Now you have become man. And human means considerate. They are thinking about others and all that. And then, ebar devota hoite hoibe. In Bengali he said, chile poshu. You were animals, very selfish. Now you have come in contact with the religion. Now you have become human, considerate people. Now you have to transform yourself as God. God is nothing but love and unselfishness. So this is what we learn here from this great teacher. So thank you, friends. Is there any question?
My first question is from Arpita. She's asking, Maharaj, my question is, when we are doing japa, what should we think in our mind so that the japa becomes more meaningful? Please guide how to concentrate more while doing japa.
So, thank you, Pita. It was a very good question. That while doing japa, what actually we should think? So, your guru must have said, but normally what we do, that there are two different ways. One, you can see those mantras, yes, those letters that has been given to you, the name of the god or goddess, just floating in a lighted letters. They're all going out of your heart and floating in the air and all around you. That is also the way you can do the japa. Japa means taking the name of God, thinking or uttering the name of God, but you can see the letters or the mantra itself lighted, leaving around you. Or the god or goddess, the mantra that you have received, you can visualize that particular form and take the mantra. By these two ways, usually one should do the meditation or doing the japa. Thank you.
Second question is from Devjani Dhar. Please explain, Maharajji, that how to remain calm and unselfish, staying in an egotistic society as jealousy disturbs the full balance of life.
Devjani, that is a very practical question. When we sit over here in a cozy atmosphere and then say, give the advices, you should be this, you should be that, I can understand that's so difficult to practice. But outwardly you need not to, because the world around you is different, if you mentioned that. And in that place, you should be behaving as if you are one of that. But mentally, you should go on praying to God. So, God, please take all these things away from me so that I can always remember you and I can meditate on you, I can become yourself. So, if you pray like this, I strongly believe, the prayer as a prayer get answered. And if you pray sincerely, and you will find that within few months, all these obstacles will go away and you will get the positive vibration so that you can concentrate on the name of God and you can practice spirituality. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you for questioning. And I thank the devotees of Cleveland for arranging all the wonderful way. So I will have lunch and then we will leave for Chicago. So let us say Shanti 3 times as usually we do and we conclude. You can also repeat after me. Om Shanti. 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 Harihi Om. Why we say Om? Because again they say Om is the symbol of Brahman. A-U-Ma is a long discussion. I won't enter into that. It's a symbol of Om iti Brahma. In the Upanishad it says. So we conclude with the Om. Thank you, friends. Let's be happy and thank you all.